Thank you for having us. So Charlotte and I, yes, are part of Women in AI, which is a non-profit association that was created a few years ago, 2016, by three women. So the three of them were here in France. Now the association is in 150 countries. And the main mission is, of course, to encourage women into going into the field of AI and helping them taking their place in this new domain. So personally,
do you have a figure of how many men or women working in the field of tech or AI?
We have a very important figure, I think. Women in AI teams, in a company when you have various teams, in an AI team you will find 15 to 20% of women working in an AI team. So I love this quote that our president Léa often says, AI now, and we've talked about it and we're going to discuss it at length tonight, AI is not only an innovation subject anymore, it's widespread. Everyone is going to use AI in the upcoming years. So it should address 100% of the population. But yet we are leaving out 50% of the population if we only count women. So,
and AI is the algorithm allocates as well is not the topic.
Completely. Indeed, the leaving out women, for me, has issues at two different levels. In the workforce, there is an issue, and regarding algorithms. We've already had this issue with women in tech in general, because little girls, adolescents, young women are not encouraged, like men, to pursue careers in scientific fields, mathematics, engineering. So today we have a gap in women who have worked in such fields. And we are trying to make it up for it. In AI, we do have this issue in innovation. Now that it's widespread, and for me, it's another subject because everyone is going to use it. So we need to tackle this specific error, let's say, as soon as possible to prevent us from doing it afterwards.
And that's what you're doing with the non-profit, because then you have different programs, the mentoring one, Charlotte, that you are working on, and the education one.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a few words on what you do when you work with corporates or companies?
Completely. So for us to address these two issues, we have 4 streams. I'm going to present 2, and then I'll let also Charlotte present 2 others, especially the mentorship, because it's our big success story. So the first stream or pillar that we use to help women is the education one. So women like me, because I'm not from engineering field, scientific field, I studied languages, and now I'm a senior consultant in AI. So
everything can happen.
Exactly. So women like me who started their career in something and who now want to work in AI, they need to upskill. So the association helps them and puts them in contact with companies who have built training paths that will help them achieve the goal. And there are a lot of work in AI. You have data scientists, AI engineering. We talked about the carbon footprint, but you also have product owners. You also have adoption, that we also talked about. So the education helps those women get work in AI. And also for people who are already experts on the subject, because AI is moving very, very rapidly. We all know that every year there's a brand new story, there's a brand new thing. So they also need to keep up pace with everything that's going on. And it helps them do this by constantly getting trained. The second stream that we work on is a community. So we built a Discord community for women, and it's a sort of safe space for them to ask their questions if they have, to talk about how they're living their experience in AI, maybe issues that they are having with their teams, etc. and we also give them a lot of information, post work events, etc., etc. So these are two pillars. We also have two other ones, White Talks and mentorship, and I guess I'll let Charlotte present the two.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Hi everyone. So I'm only going to talk about this third pillar because then it's going to get a bit long and Mohamed won't be able to talk. But so as Laura said, we're trying to build this community. What is more strong than a community? So to be able to really leverage that as part of the corporate affairs, we launched a mentorship program. So since 2022, we had 100 female mentees, and we've been pairing them manually to make sure that their objectives is in line with the mentor's objectives. And we had male and female mentors. Their objectives can vary from people to people. So, for example, some of the mentees are joining the mentorship in order to gain, career advice into how to get into AI, how to navigate the corporate landscape, which is highly dominated by male, or just to, technically improve and how to be better in, Python or, all these crazy models that are going forward. And for the mentors, males and females, they also have varied objectives. And my favorite one is I had a big exec coming to me and asking me to join the mentorship program in order to be able to help their female collaborators understand their issues, understand what they're living in this highly dominated male environment, to really be able to manage them better, to get their voices out better, to really understand what they're living, to push them forward, and to really promote more women into AI and data teams. So in a more tangible manner, what are the impacts of these communities, of this mentorship program is, at the end of the day, I can't really give you any figures of what we're building, what it's significantly driving as part of the community, but at least these people become their own advocates, and these advocates create other advocates, and it's create this massive community. They talk together, they drive their own initiatives, and I don't have my hands on this kind of stuff, so I can't give you the nice, fantastic KPIs of how we're all doing. But this community is live. They're talking together. They're talking back in Discord, and as part of their corporate companies, or even as part of their family, they get the word widespread, and then they push and drive women to actually join AI teams and to get into AI initiatives. Yeah, so for example, for now we've been working with Schneider. So we had this mentorship program covering the USA, India, and France. And so we had, it was pushed by the Data and AI Hub, pushed forward by Philippe Rambach, which is the Chief AI Officer. And now I think they're doing it more in a local initiatives as part of the country where the data hub is located. We're looking for other sponsors. But we also have other execs. We had Jean-Paul Pauli from L'Oréal also joining as a mentor. So yeah, send everyone their way. It's small, it's local, but it can actually bring this kind of big movement forward.
And I know that Frederic, you will spend the afternoon on the topic as well. If you just want to say a word of what happened today, the conference with Charlotte.
Yes, it's a big problem. It's a very geolocalized problem because we are in 25 countries and it's really a European and North American problem. We are in India, Morocco, in Africa, and it's really not the same. So let's fight it on the geography that we are on, and maybe make some bridges between the women in the international network. So it's really interesting the job you are making.
I 100% agree with you because and God, all the women don't have the same issues everywhere in the world. So having local initiatives is very important because we think that I think we're very biased towards Europe. So we say that women in Europe don't get into STEM, but actually, if you look at China, if you look at Pacific regions or Middle Eastern, it's actually, if you look at engineering classes, there's more women. So I think it's very important not to get this, let's say, very monolithic image of how to drive more women into AI. It needs to be very locally based, hence the power of having, you know, local-based community, you know, knowing their region, knowing their geographical issues to really drive, you know, initiatives from the grassroots basis.
And the traditions for this was Mohamed, because
Exactly.
we were traveling around the world, and actually we will go say a bit south in Africa, and you're representing, I'll let you introduce yourself. You have a pretty impressive background, so unfortunately we will probably not have time to describe all the things that you have been working on lately, but I think just to give an overview still of the few topics that you are currently working on, and you've been here for the summit on so many interventions, and then we will go to use cases on the education part. I guess is what you wanted to share with us.
Okay. Thank you, Audrey, for the invitation. Thank you to give me the opportunity to present a new vision and the vision of Africa in this room. First of all, I'm sorry because English is not my native language. And it's my full interaction today in English. Sometimes it's very complicated. But I'm present, I'm the shareholder of certainly one of the biggest school in Africa in creative digital industry. Creative industry for us, it's 3D, gaming, animation, virtual reality, metaverse, design, architectural design, Web3, and now artificial intelligence. It's during this for this 15 years, you training more than 40,000 young people from Africa, from 21 countries from Africa, and all these young students furniture after who create the studio. For us, it's we're very proud for this because in Africa, the digital creative industry is not understood by the family, and for us, what you say, it's a big export. I would like, another thing is very important because we have the only innovation center in Africa on creative industry. This innovation center certified by ENOL. ENOL, it's the biggest network on the world. It's an European network. ENOL, it's an European network of living lab, 400 living lab on the world. And the only one in Africa is the DGR living lab. Why it's very important? Because inside now there are 10 years, we work inside with different big partners like Epic Games. Metalfo, my school, and the DGR are the only and the first school to certify by Epic Games. It's very important because the certification is during 2 years. 2 years. I don't know how many times in Europe, but for us it's very long, 2 years. And we are the partners of NVIDIA, of Facebook Oculus in VR. And now, for 2 years, you test and experiment artificial intelligence inside the living lab to find a solution for Africa. And thank you to me to present 2 projects, because I chose 2 projects, because I have several projects, but 2 projects. One, the first, it's the history of Africa. History of Africa, anybody in Africa that in the world, they know the history of Africa. And we work with UNESCO and African Union and the Commission of United Nations for Africa on this project. Why this project is very important for young Africans? Because the goal of this project is to try for the young people to reappropriate their identity and to decolonize the education in Africa. It's very important for us. And what is this project? This project, the UNESCO, they have inside UNESCO 10 books about the African history. But anybody reads these books. and any African country use the history because it's so complicated. And I propose to UNESCO another things, not to work on the linear way of history, but by hero. And I propose, because I'm coming from gaming, I propose edutainment solution. And now we are
Entertainment, I guess.
edutainment, c'est le ludo-éducatif. And we propose edutainment project with the serious games. The people, I give an example, 1 euro. The young people must have a different challenge, and when you win this different challenge, they discover who is this hero, and after, inside the virtual universe, they can discuss with this hero, with artificial intelligence, and they know all this history of this character, they know the time, the cultures, the way of life in these times. And this project is very important for us and for Africa. Now we have 10 characters. I can to give you after, during the discussion, you can download the 5 new characters. If you're the young, the children, they would like to play to these games. And what is very important for us, because you develop the project, but it's not easier. Why is not easier? Because if I take the character of Shaka Zulu is a big Zulu chef in South Africa, and when you would like to make a language, to discuss, to give the data to Shaka Zulu, the problem is the 19% of the data is coming from the West, from England and from Occidental. There are no vision, there are only vision of Occidental colonizer. And it's a big problem because you have not the vision of the South of the Zulu. And if they would like to have the vision of the South, you must ask and you must work with the traditional tradition chief of the tribute of Zulu, because you have a chief, coutumier, the civilization coutumier, like this, and you must find who can talk about Shaka Zulu. And it's very, very hard. And when you find these people, you must work with them, and it's very complicated because sometimes the difference between the true story and its imagination. And it's complicated for us in Africa to work of African character because all the tradition is orally. And it's problem. You have no right.
And AI helps in that?
You have another character like Soundiata Keita in Mali. In Mali, you have a part of orally and part of written. You know the library of Tombouctou, but it's in Arabic. It's not in character. It's not in written in the time of Shaka Zulu of Soundiata Keita. But you find sometimes you have
Scholars.
Why?
Scholars.
Expert, basically les savants, les philosophes, they can't to explain the history of this man. It's your problem in Africa on this project, and the goal of this project is to produce 1,000 euro and to have all
the history in Africa.
You have 10, you choose 5 women and 5 men, and I discuss, I present, I don't know if you know the princess Zainab. Who knows Zainab? Who knows Zainab, the princess Zainab? You know this town, this city, is certainly one of the beautiful cities of the world. It's in Morocco, it's in Marrakesh. And it's this woman, Princess Zainab, they build, they imagine Marrakesh. You know, anybody knows. And the same thing like Queen Zinga. Queen Zinga, it's a queen that struggled against the Portuguese because the Portuguese would like to take a slave from Brazil, from the Congo and Angola. And this queen is very fantastic. I love this woman because this queen, they have 50 husbands, and all the husbands dresses with the woman, and this queen, they take a man dress, and they struggle against the Portuguese, and they win the Portuguese. And it's very fantastic on the imaginary on the west of Africa. And you have another character, it's a Zumbi. Zumbi, it's Angola, from Angola, Angolese slave, educated by the Portuguese in Brazil. And when he have 18, he make a big revolution in Brazil, and he created the first city in Amazonia. With all the slaves, they can escape from the different jails and from the different farms in Portugal.
Brazil. You around Africa and the history,
yeah, it's very interesting because Zambia, why it's very interesting, because Zambia you have right, because the Portuguese is written, but you have a slave. They write the history about him, and you have the two sides. It's very interesting. Zumbi, it's there's a statue of Zumbi in all the city, all the village on Brazil. And one day it's the fest of Brazil, Zumbi. Anybody know him here? But all Africa and in Brazil, it's actually General de Gaulle here. It's a monument. It's very good. And the second project, quickly, because I know that the time, the problem now in Africa, you have around 215 million of young people that coming inside the ecosystem of education on the before 2030. There are no school. There are no school. They like around 9 million of teachers. But there are no money, no financing. There are no content. What do you do? The big problem. And this year, last year, Africa, the African Union and the European Union launched a big challenge and to find a solution. There are around 4,000 company to ask to apply to this challenge, and my school and my center innovation win this project. And why? What sort of project I present? It's you know the digital twins. What is it? You create a digital twins of a school, and inside they have inside the digital school you have all my teachers. It's avatar in 3D. I create avatar of all my teachers, and I create all the path of the path of training. It's gamification, and I don't would like to forget why I use the gamification experience. I write the learning path experience is gamification because it increases engagement. It's very important for European African because the digital twins, it's immersive world, and it's very interesting when you develop practical skills, serious games, and the technical training. It's good for technical training. They are more secure because if you're training, I don't know, inside the problem of firemen, it's easier when you use a serious games. You're so secure inside this universe. And I can to give you all the intent, but why African Union chose this project, because it's totally disruptive for Africa, and you use EI, all the part of all the step of the project, you use EI. Why EI is very important for us? Because in Africa, in the world you have 7,000 of language and 3,000 language in Africa, and you can use all of this language. But now your project here it's to have around 50 language African in this project, and locally is very important. 7 days a week and 24 hours a day, you can find people, because it's an avatar, it's artificial intelligence. They have the individual program, you have individual path for the young people, and why it's disruptive. And I think that in Europa, they have the same things.
It's showing that Africa is also.
I'm sorry for English, but.
And I mean, we can continue the discussion afterwards. So as well, I'm quite interested as well to know all the other characters. So for anyone who want to further discuss that, but Mohamed, we have to the next one.
Yeah, there's another several projects you can discuss, because I create Teen Serve. Teen Serve is a project, a mentor project for the young people, for the children, to discover the African world, to play. It's like Roblox, but for Africa.
I'm looking forward to knowing more about it. Thank you so much.